Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is another Theta update video, and if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel, and you can find me on Theta TV. Please like and subscribe here as well. Alright, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the AMA that happened recently. It had all of the leadership team, it had Mitch Liu, it had Jay Long, and it had Wes Lovett. So I do like that they're getting in front of the camera, they're talking to the community, and they did provide a lot of data for us. Like I kind of mentioned in my previous video, it was slated for an hour and a half. They went to 2 hours, and then there was kind of, a mention of maybe a part two, which would be pretty awesome just to continue asking some questions. We understand they're very busy, so it probably won't happen until, quarter one or quarter two of next year, but we do look forward to the next AMA. But like I said, in this video, I'm just going to talk about some of the highlights that were mentioned throughout the 2 hour video. If you don't have 2 hours to watch the entire thing, I totally understand that. So we will dig right into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the node setup. So as we know, we have edge nodes, we have guardian nodes, and then we have enterprise validator nodes. The edge nodes, those are your worker bees. So they will transcode videos, hopefully NFT storage here in the future. Pretty much anything working throughout the Theta ecosystem, our edge nodes are doing that, and that's why there's so many of them. There's 10,000 TFUEL is the minimum in order to start an elite edge node, but a regular edge node, you can just download the software right down here, and then you can start your own edge node. We also have guardian nodes that takes 1,000 Theta tokens in order to start a guardian node. And the guardian nodes, in summary, they kind of look at the enterprise validator nodes, which there's only 16 of them, and those are the very big companies like Google, Sony, Samsung, CA, etc., etc. And these guys, they're writing the blockchain. So the guardian nodes are there just to QC the enterprise validator node, just to make sure that everything is written correctly. One thing that a lot of people kind of just took for granted, the enterprise validator nodes, they have to be these humongous companies. But one rumor was kind of busted there, and the entire leadership team, they were like, nope. We'd actually, they subtly kind of mentioned a community-driven enterprise validator node would be pretty neat to see. So one way or another, if the entire Theta community could pull together, and the minimum is 2 million Theta tokens in order to start a enterprise validator node, it would be kind of neat to see. And it's the same setup actually as going through, running a guardian node through the GUI. If you follow this step by step, there's just a drop down menu, and instead of selecting guardian node, you select enterprise validator node, and it's just that easy. But the hard part, of course, is getting 2 million Theta, which is pretty pricey for most of us, and that is why there are large companies as your enterprise validator nodes. But just circling back, yeah, I mean, it would be really neat to see a community-driven enterprise validator node, so we could have a say in what goes forward if we have that much stake in the overall company. All right, that was one bit of news. Another bit of news is about Theta Hackathons. So, we just closed out one, and it was very successful. But one thing that was alluded to, actually just stated outright, was the fact that hackathons in the future, starting next year, it's pretty much going to be a rolling, continuous set of hackathons. As soon as one ends, another one will begin. And, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The thing that makes, all of these blockchains successful is, the third party applications. There's only so much that Theta can do by themselves. It's a smaller team, which is good. But the third party applications are what make things key. Kind of like Apple. Apple can't create every single application. They need the Apple App Store and third party developers to create those apps that everyone uses. So this is something that they are focusing on. They did, straight up say, if you have a good, application, or if you're a developer and you can create something, the Theta team, they do have the money to fund it through these hackathons. So they are definitely going to continue focusing on these in the future. All right, another bit of news, and this is probably the largest bit of news that came out of the AMA, was the new partner. So I've talked about this in my previous video, but it is Junkin Media. And this one is actually, I know you have seen these videos before. You might not have known it was Junkin Media, but some of, the companies underneath the overall brand of Junkin is Fail Army. This is happening. People Are Awesome, and the Pet Collective. So yes, I mean, you and I right now, we're probably in a demographic that doesn't actively go out and watch these videos, but believe me, there are a huge demographic of people who, even through just Facebook feeds or Twitter feeds, they are indirectly watching these videos, and they're just short little clips. And another thing that was kind of mentioned was they could create NFTs from these short little clips. Bear with my internet speed here, but they're just 15-second clips, super easy. And you could create an NFT and once again bring that to Theta Drop or the Theta ecosystem, and everyone is happy. So that is something that Theta is actively doing right now. You have to work small with these companies. Once you get Junkin Media on board and 10 other companies, then your larger companies are going to start looking at you as well. So of course, it's a stepping stone. Once again, getting these small companies, and then your Amazon Prime and your Netflix will start paying attention and seeing that, there's one, utility, two, it works good, and then three, they're saving a lot of money. So speaking of that, just goes straight into the other bit of news that was brought was the Theta Video API, and that it is very, very successful right now. So a lot of the reasons why Junkin in particular was able to sign up was because of the cost savings. And if you look at the pricing, the video ingest, video storage, and video delivery, you can save 60%, 30%, and 40%. And this is something that, opens the eyes to a lot of these companies, because inflation is going up, all the prices are going up, but there is a way to cut costs, and it works. So a lot of it right now is the video delivery, but one thing that they did mention is, it might not be companies choosing all three of these options. Some companies might just need some video storage. Their storage costs are a little too high. Other companies, they might need that video delivery in order to help them out. So it's kind of nice that they did split it up into three different tiers, and there's other use cases as well that are coming in the future. They didn't exactly say what those use cases are, but it is something that is going to come in the future, and I do look forward to hearing what is next. All right, speaking of that, they also did mention the Katy Perry Theta Drop. So they said a couple things about it. I did appreciate that Mitch Liu did, he did say it was a vanilla drop, but he also said in the future they will be much better. So he expected higher things. I do really respect that he acknowledged it. And in the future there will be better drops. And of course, this is just the beginning as well. So as we know, in the next couple months, there will be at least 2 drops per month. So I do appreciate him acknowledging just the performance of this drop. Even though it was successful, it did sell out, but he did acknowledge the fact that it could have been a little bit better. But on the bright side, something that J.E. Long mentioned was the fact that there was a bunch of burning. So if we go to Twitter, J.E. Long, this was taken during the Katy Perry Theta Drop release, was just look at the TFUEL Burn by the first ever Katy Perry NFT drop, and there's a bunch of TFUEL, and that is good. So I went on Theta Explorer right now. The TFUEL burn isn't quite as high. It's still being burnt, but this is the goal. If we can get this much burnt continuously every single day, then TFUEL potentially could become a deflationary asset. We just have to look at Ethereum. If you go to watchtheburn.com, because of EIP 1559, Ethereum does have quite a bit of burn going on. so much so that there's been a couple deflationary days out there. So that means that there is more Ethereum or Ether getting burnt than actually being created. So that is the goal for Theta in the future. Of course, Ethereum is a known blockchain. Theta is definitely still something that a lot of people are learning about. So it'll take, maybe months, maybe years for this to happen, but this is the end goal over here, is TFUEL becoming a deflationary asset, and that'll in turn help the price of TFUEL and help the price of Theta. And then one of the last little things that I wanted to hit on, and I think it is very important because there's so much of an international user base for Theta, something that did get brought up was the fact that there's only 2 languages for the Theta ecosystem and the Theta website in particular. And then if you go to Theta Docs, all of these documents, they're only in English. So one thing that they do want to focus on is, getting some more languages. So if you go to bitcoin.org, if you check out their language selection, there are a bunch of them, and that is something that they did acknowledge, and they were like, yeah, we will actually work on that because there's a huge Spanish community out there, and just even having this in Spanish would definitely help expand the community, and who can read and understand all of the docs and everything associated with the Theta blockchain. So that was the last little bit of news that I wanted to share with everyone. Overall, I did like the Theta AMA. I do understand that the leadership team is very busy, and I respect them coming out and talking to the Theta Research Squad. Thank you again for hosting. And once again, if you do like this content, please like and subscribe to the channels, and I will see you on the next one.